Hello Classic Crew, and welcome to today's video where we're going to be talking about 5 ways to find and build a good community of women. If you are new to my channel, here we talk about classic living and traditional values, so I would love if you would consider subscribing to my channel and hitting that notification bell. And I would also love if you would consider subscribing to my Substack newsletter, where you will get access to a ton of exclusive content not available anywhere else, including my podcast, my book club. I love my Substack community. It is awesome. So now that that's out of the way, I have gotten so many requests for a video like this. It is so hard to make friends and build a community in today's day and age. It's just really hard. And finding a good, strong community of girlfriends that you just really enjoy spending time with, who share your values, who you can learn from, it's not always easy. And I want to share 5 ways that you can go about doing this yourself, because it's important. It's important to have a support system and a community of women who can lift you up and share their thoughts. I mean, it's just the best. One of the things I love about Classically Abby is the community that we're building here online, and it's definitely one that you can engage with. The women here are awesome, and I know I already mentioned my Substack newsletter, but one of the things I love about that is that you actually get to talk to each other in that discussion threads and also through our book club in our Zoom calls. So that's one way to join a community if you feel like you are struggling, but having one in person is invaluable. So I'm really excited to share these tips with you guys, so let's get into it. My first piece of advice is go to church or synagogue. Having a faith community is such a wonderful way to find and build a community of women. I think about people who move to a new city or a new state and don't know anybody and don't have access to that. They don't have a faith community. I would think it would be so much more difficult to meet people. Whereas when you move to a new community and you can just go to church or synagogue, you meet people immediately, right off the bat, who you know share your values, who you know share your religion. Like, that is awesome. So every time that Jacob and I have moved, we've found a synagogue in the area that we can attend. Now, where we live now, our synagogue is really small, so that is difficult. But when we moved to Nebraska, it was super important that we lived in the community there, because there's really only one community there. So it is such a wonderful and invaluable resource to be able to go to a faith-based community. It is such a wonderful way to meet people, and usually they're super welcoming too. One of the great things about it too is that it guarantees that you're going to be seeing people at least once a week. If you go to services on Saturdays or Sundays, you're going to be seeing people once a week, and you're going to start building those relationships. So I highly recommend, if you're not already or you are a little worried about it, makes you a little bit nervous, just break the ice. Go to your church, go to your local church, go to your local synagogue, and try and meet people there, because that is going to be the first way and the easiest way to meet women who you get along with and who share your values. Number 2 is, now that you've gone to church or synagogue, join something at your faith-based community. You can either join a study group, or you can try and join a planning group, like a planning committee, so that you can be part of making the plans and you can have more say in the activities that are offered at your faith-based community. Like, that's a really cool thing too. So you can either take advantage of the programs that are already available to you. Study groups are a really good thing, or sometimes they even have single mixers, which is great. Or you can join the committees that plan things and maybe offer some suggestions for women's meetups and see if there's a way that you can build some sort of girls' movie night or something through your church or synagogue. Being participatory in these groups at your faith-based community is going to introduce you to people outside of services and really allow you to make friends. You might make friends with the people on the planning committees, which is really cool, or you might make friends with the people at the events. So taking advantage of the opportunities at your church or synagogue will allow you to actually make those connections and make those friends. Okay, so now we're out of the faith-based community stuff. Let's talk about number 3, which is once you've made friends in a new area, host a party or ask a friend if you can co-host a party where each of you invite people that the other hasn't met. Once you've made a few friends, you can host a party. And when you have that party, tell everyone to bring a friend that you don't know so that you can even expand out your friend group. That's an option. Another option is to co-host a party with a friend, and each of you has to bring people that the other hasn't met. So again, you're expanding that friend group. You're making more connections. You're networking, but not in the sense of like a work networking. You're building community. You're building friendships. And that's really fun and important. And you can decide how you want to host the party. It can be a casual get-together where you guys kind of serve drinks and snacks and everyone just talks. Or you can make it a little bit more specific. So I've hosted a party for my birthday maybe 3 or 4 years ago, which was great, where I told everybody, bring clothes that you want to donate. And what we'll do is we will hang up everybody's clothes and shop around into other people's closets. And so if you get rid of stuff, then you can find maybe something else for free from somebody else. And then everything that doesn't get picked will get taken to Goodwill. And that was a really good way to inspire people to come because a lot of people wanted to clutter their closets and maybe do a little bit of shopping in someone else's closet if there are similar sizes. So that's a really great way to get people to want to come over, and you'll make friends through those kinds of experiences. They can be really fun, especially because a lot of the time you'll end up modeling for each other, which is just a really fun way to make friends. So that's a good way. Or you can host some sort of movie night with like a discussion afterward. That kind of thing can be really good at establishing good friendships and making that community that you have of friends even wider and bigger. Number 4 is make friends with the wives of your husband's friends. So if you are married, I think a really good way to make friends is for your husband's friends' wives to be invited over for dinner. You know, I know that a ton of my friends I made because Jacob invited a husband and wife over. He's friends with the husband. I became friends with the wife, and now me and the wife are like really good friends. That's something I've really loved about our marriage, and it's something that you should totally take advantage of. I think there's this misconception that building this community of women is only for singles, which is absolutely not true. You can be lonely as a married woman because you just don't have enough social interaction outside of your home. So you should definitely make sure that you are reaching out to women in your area, even if you are married. So a really good way to do that is to take advantage of your husband's friendships. And same for him. I mean, if you meet a woman and you really like her and you invite her and her husband over for dinner, he could become friends with the husband, which has happened for us as well. So it's a really nice way to find a couple that you guys both enjoy hanging out with, but then you also have your individual friendships, which is great. And take advantage of your husband's extroversion if he is one. And hopefully you can make friends through that too. Baby is moving. He's so cute. Last but not least is do Zoom calls with your long distance friends. I have a community of women that I am close with, but half of them do not live near me. I've moved around so much since we've been married that, they're not all going to be near me. Many of them are long distance. And so what I've done is I will do group Zoom calls with those friends. And even though we're all spread out, we will all get on maybe 3 times, 4 times, 5 times a year and just chat and see where everyone's at and just catch up. And if it's not a group call, you can do that even more frequently with phone calls or Zoom calls just one-on-one, which I do with my friends who live far away frequently. And it is so nice. So don't feel like your friends can only be local. The community of women that you build can be a mix of people who are local and people who are long distance. You just kind of have to navigate that long distance thing a little bit more than local friendships, but you can absolutely do it. And the fact of the matter is, in my experience, you have to plan with people no matter what. It's not the easiest thing in the world to get together with a friend on a whim just generally. So if you have to schedule with a friend who's local, you might as well schedule with a friend who's long distance for a Zoom call. So you should absolutely make sure to keep those friendships intact too, because they are wonderful and I absolutely love my long distance girlfriends. So those are my 5 ways to build a community of women. If you have other tips down below, let me know. I might come up with another video. I think there's a lot of ways that you can continue to build those friendships, have supportive women around you. So I really want to continue to have this conversation. Make sure to leave those comments below. And if you aren't already subscribed to my channel, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And if you aren't already subscribed to my Substack newsletter, check it out, classicallyabby.substack.com. If you'd like to follow me on social media, it's at classicallyabby, absolutely everywhere. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!